Most people are not defeated by the world around them. They are defeated by the mindset within them. The comfort zone of the old self is where dreams go to die. Every time you choose to stay the same, you insult the potential hidden inside you. There is a why you that your family has not met yet. There is a why you that your friends have never encountered. There is a why you that your enemies cannot handle. But that version is waiting for you to force yourself out of your comfort, your excuses, and your patterns of self-sabotage. You were never designed to remain the same. Growth is painful because it requires death, the death of old thinking, old habits, old fears, and old excuses. It is easier to complain about your limitations than to confront them. But the problem is, as long as you remain loyal to your old story, you will keep living your old results. Force yourself to wake up earlier. Force yourself to read what grows you, not what entertains you. Force yourself to discipline your emotions when anger wants to take over. Force yourself to build habits that your future self will celebrate. Force yourself to outgrow your excuses, your fears, your complaints, and your lazy patterns. Because your destiny is not waiting for the old you to arrive. It is waiting for the evolved, transformed, matured you to rise up. If you truly want a life that is unrecognizable from your past, you must become unrecognizable to your old self. Stop trying to revive the old you. Let that version die and bury it with honor. Because who you are becoming is far greater than who you have been. Comfort is the enemy of your destiny. Comfort is the enemy of your destiny. Every single day you wake up and choose comfort, you are choosing to stay stagnant. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, your body tells you to sleep an extra hour. Your mind tells you it's too early to start working on your goals. And your emotions tell you it's okay to delay your discipline for another day. That is comfort talking. Comfort tells you to eat what you want even if your health is at risk. Comfort tells you to spend every extra coin instead of saving and investing for your future. Comfort tells you to stay silent when you should speak up for yourself. Comfort tells you to remain in toxic relationships because at least you're not alone. But what you don't realize is that comfort is costing you everything that your destiny holds. The old version of you cannot handle the future you desire. If you desire to be a leader in your field, but you are still operating with a follower mindset, you will sabotage every opportunity that comes your way. If you want to build a successful business, but your thinking is still limited by scarcity and fear of risk, you will destroy the very blessing you prayed for. Imagine trying to carry the responsibilities of a millionaire with the habits of a broke person. Imagine trying to raise powerful children while still carrying the wounds of your childhood. The future requires a stronger, wiser, more mature version of you. You cannot carry old mentalities into new seasons. That is why life will keep pushing you to grow, because your dreams are too big for the old you to manage. Growth requires death. This is the painful truth that most people avoid. If you want to grow, you must let parts of you die. Your old excuses have to die. Your procrastination has to die. Your laziness has to die. Your victim mentality has to die. Growth feels like loss because it is. You are losing what is unnecessary for where you are going. It is like a snake shedding its skin. If the snake refuses to shed its skin, it will die. If you refuse to shed your old habits, you will suffocate your potential. Think about a person who keeps holding on to old clothes that no longer fit them. They keep them because of memories, but those clothes cannot serve their present body. In the same way, your old patterns cannot serve your future purpose. You must bury what no longer fits who you are becoming. Force yourself into disciplined actions. Discipline is painful, but regret is deadly. When you force yourself to wake up and exercise even when you feel tired, you are forcing yourself into your next level of health. When you force yourself to read instead of scrolling endlessly on your phone, you are it. There is a version of you 5 years from now, 10 years from now, standing tall, confident, financially secure, spiritually strong, mentally powerful, emotionally stable, and physically healthy. That version is waiting for you. But that future you is built by what you do today. Imagine looking back in 5 years and realizing you wasted your time, talent, and opportunities because you were busy living like the old you. Imagine seeing others move forward while you remain stuck simply because you refuse to grow. Your future self is not waiting for your excuses. It is waiting for your evolution. Every sacrifice you make today builds the foundation for who you will become tomorrow. Stop honoring your limitations. Every time you say, I can't do it, you give power to your limitations. Every time you say, it's too hard, you allow your limitations to control you. You were not born with limitations in your mind. They were taught to you. If a baby learning to walk gave up after falling, it would never walk. But babies keep rising after every fall because their mind is not conditioned to accept limitations. Somewhere along your journey, you allowed fear, rejection, and failure to teach you that you are limited. But you are not. The only real limitations are the ones you refuse to challenge. Start telling yourself, I can figure this out. Start declaring, I will find a way. Start training your mind to see problems as opportunities to grow stronger. Because the moment you stop honoring your limitations, you start honoring your potential. Force yourself to outgrow the old version of you. It will be uncomfortable. It will feel lonely. It will feel like you are leaving parts of yourself behind. But that is the price of becoming who you are meant to be. No butterfly ever became what it was destined to be by staying in the comfort of the cocoon. It forced itself to break free, even when the breaking was painful. You must do the same. Break free from the old thinking. Break free from the old excuses. Break free from the old habits. Because everything you desire in this life is waiting for the new, transformed, elevated version of you to show up and claim it with power. The old version of you cannot handle the future you desire. The old version of you cannot handle the future you desire. Think about it deeply. You are asking life to give you things that your current mindset cannot even sustain. You are praying for financial abundance, but you still think like someone who is broke. You desire to lead people, but you are still led by your insecurities. You want a powerful relationship, but you are still chained to wounds from your past. The truth is, your future requires a stronger, bolder, wiser version of you. Imagine giving a child the responsibilities of a CEO. No matter how passionate that child is, without growth, knowledge, and maturity, they will destroy everything they are given. In the same way, if you receive the blessings of your future while still operating with the patterns of your past, you will sabotage everything you worked for. You say you want to be wealthy, but your spending habits prove otherwise. You keep buying things to impress people instead of investing in what multiplies your resources. You say you want to be healthy, but you keep eating what poisons your body and you keep refusing to move it. You say you want peace, but you keep entertaining people in environments that disturb your mind. You want to be a leader, but you cannot even lead your own thoughts into discipline. The old you is comfortable with chaos, with excuses, with emotional reactions. But the future you that you desire is calm under pressure, makes decisions based on wisdom, not emotion, invests time instead of wasting it, and wakes up with purpose instead of dragging through the day. Look at the caterpillar. A caterpillar cannot fly. No matter how much it wishes to soar like a butterfly, until it goes through the painful and lonely process of transformation in the cocoon, it will keep crawling through the dirt. In that cocoon, it dies to its old form. Its body breaks down. Its very structure is melted and reshaped into something greater. If the caterpillar resists that process, it will never fly. If you resist your process of growth, you will never rise into the future you desire. Many people want the wings without the breaking. They want the results without the sacrifice. But the old you cannot handle the heights that your destiny requires. The habits, beliefs, excuses, and laziness of the old you will keep you grounded. Think of someone who wins the lottery without changing their mindset. Studies show that within a few years, most lottery winners end up broke or worse than they were before. Why? Because their mindset was still poor, even though their bank account was rich. They did not outgrow their old self, so their old self destroyed their blessing. In the same way, if you want a healthy relationship, but you still carry a toxic mindset, you will sabotage every person who comes with genuine love. If you want a leadership position, but you still think like a victim, you will misuse your power or become intimidated by those you lead. Your future cannot be managed by your past mentality. You must force yourself to become who your future needs. If your dream is to stand before nations and speak, then your old shy, fearful, insecure version must die. If your dream is to run a successful business, then your old undisciplined, unfocused, easily distracted version must die. If your dream is to raise children who are powerful and confident, then your old wounded, broken, angry version must die. Every upgrade in life demands a funeral for the lesser version of you. And that funeral will feel painful because you have been attached to that old self for so long. It is familiar, it feels safe. But familiarity is not freedom. Just because it is comfortable does not mean it is beneficial. Think of your phone when it needs a software update. You keep ignoring it because you don't want to restart your phone. But eventually, the apps stop working properly. The phone becomes slow, and you can't access the features you need. Your life is the same. Your future requires a new software upgrade. Your mindset needs an upgrade. Your habits need an upgrade. Your language needs an upgrade. Your confidence needs an upgrade. But the old you keeps ignoring the update because restarting feels uncomfortable. The truth is, every time you refuse to upgrade yourself, you delay your access to the greater things waiting for you. You cannot handle the future you desire with the thinking habits and behaviors that created your current life. If you want something you have never had, you must become someone you have never been. You cannot be casual about your growth and expect exceptional results. The old version of you can only reproduce what it already knows. The new version of you is the one that will manifest what your heart truly desires. The future is reserved for those who are brave enough to let the old version of themselves die, so the greater version can emerge and take full dominion over every opportunity, every blessing, and every dream assigned to their life. Growth requires death. Growth requires death. This is a reality most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. They want to grow without letting anything die. They want new habits without killing old habits. They want a new mindset without letting go of their old thinking. They want a new level of success while holding on to the comfort of their old routine. But nature itself teaches us that everything that grows goes through a form of death first. Look at a seed. Before it becomes a tree, it must die in the soil. Its outer shell breaks apart. Its old form is buried underground, and in that burial it finds its new life. Imagine if the seed could scream and resist the darkness, the pressure, and the breaking. It would never become the tree it was designed to be. In the same way, you must go through seasons where parts of you are buried and broken so that something greater can rise from within you. People keep praying for growth, but they refuse the process. They want to be emotionally strong, but they refuse to let their emotional immaturity die. They want to be wealthy, but they refuse to let their spending addictions die. They want peace, but they refuse to let toxic relationships die. They want wisdom, but they refuse to let their arrogance die. You cannot carry death and life together. You cannot enter a new season holding everything from the old season. Imagine trying to move into a new house, but you refuse to throw away the broken furniture and useless clutter. You end up filling your new house with old junk, leaving no space for the beauty of the new environment to manifest fully. Growth feels like loss because it is. You are losing everything that is not necessary for the journey ahead. Think about someone who goes to the gym to build their body. They must kill laziness. They must kill excuses. They must kill the comfort of sleeping late. They must kill the pleasure of eating whatever they want. When you see their transformed body, you are seeing the evidence of all the deaths they allowed within themselves. Every rep is killing weakness. Every disciplined meal is killing self-indulgence. Every early morning workout is killing procrastination. They bury these old versions themselves to resurrect a body and a mind that is powerful and disciplined. Growth will always demand sacrifice. There is no way around it. You must let your old excuses die. Your excuses have kept you comfortable but stagnant. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I do not like them. These are the voices of your old self trying to survive. Excuses are the language of the old version of you. If you want to grow, you must adopt a new language. Replace "I can't" with "I will find a way." Replace "I'm tired" with "This is necessary for my destiny." Replace "I don't know how" with "I will learn until I master it." Every time you speak like your old self, you give it permission to live another day. But the moment you start speaking like the person you are becoming, your old self begins to die. Your procrastination has to die. Every time you delay what you know you should be doing, you are feeding the old version of yourself. Procrastination is not just laziness, it is fear in disguise. You fear failing, you fear discomfort, you fear sacrifice, so you postpone your growth to a future that never arrives. Think of a student who keeps postponing studying for an exam. They spend hours watching movies, scrolling on their phone, chatting with friends until the night before the exam arrives. Then panic sets in. They realize they wasted time that could never be recovered. Life is the same. If you keep procrastinating on your dreams, one day you will wake up and realize you wasted years you can never get back. The old you loves procrastination. The new you thrives in disciplined action. Your laziness has to die. Laziness is comfort turned into poison. It feels good in the moment, but destroys your potential over time. Imagine a farmer who refuses to wake up early to tend to his crops. The weeds will grow, the pests will multiply, and his harvest will be destroyed. Laziness is refusing to do what needs to be done because you want to feel good now. But growth demands that you feel uncomfortable now so you can feel fulfilled later. Your future will only manifest to the degree that you are willing to let laziness die in your daily choices. Your victim mentality has to die. This is one of the most painful deaths because it feels like you are letting go of a part of your identity. You have lived so long blaming people, blaming circumstances, blaming your past, that taking responsibility for your life feels unnatural. But as long as you think like a victim, you will remain powerless. Imagine a person sitting in a prison cell with the door wide open, but they keep screaming that they are trapped. That is what a victim mentality does. It keeps you chained to a prison that no longer exists. Growth demands that you stand up and walk out. It demands that you stop waiting for someone to rescue you and start rescuing yourself through discipline, focus, and responsibility. Growth requires death. It requires you to bury what no longer serves your destiny. It requires you to mourn the loss of old habits and old thinking. It requires you to walk away from people who are committed to staying the same. It requires you to release the comfort of being average so you can embrace the discomfort of becoming excellent. Growth will cost you who you used to be, but what you gain will be far greater than what you lose. Because on the other side of death is always resurrection into a higher, stronger, wiser version of yourself that is fully ready for everything your future is waiting to deliver into your hands. Force yourself into disciplined actions. Discipline is not a punishment, it is a pathway to freedom. Many people think discipline is suffering, but the truth is discipline saves you from unnecessary suffering. When you force yourself into disciplined actions, you are telling life that you are ready for what you have been praying for. You say you want to be successful, but success is built on the foundation of daily disciplined actions that nobody sees. Imagine a farmer who wakes up at 4 a.m. to water his crops before the sun rises. Nobody claps for him. Nobody posts him on social media. Nobody praises him for waking up early. But when harvest comes, when his barns are full and his family is fed, the same people who ignored his sacrifice begin to admire his success. They do not realize that the harvest was not magic, it was discipline. You say you want a fit and healthy body, but are you forcing yourself to go to the gym when your emotions say, stay in bed? Are you forcing yourself to drink water when your cravings say, drink soda? Are you forcing yourself to meal prep when your laziness says, just order junk food? Discipline is forcing yourself to do what your feelings refuse to do. Your feelings are trained by comfort, but discipline is trained by vision. Your feelings will keep you stagnant, but discipline will carry you to the top. Think about someone training for a marathon. The first week, their body screams in pain. Their knees hurt, their chest burns, their legs feel heavy like iron. But day after day, they keep forcing themselves to run, and something powerful begins to happen. Their body adapts, their mind grows stronger. What was once painful becomes powerful. Discipline transforms pain into power, but only for those who keep forcing themselves beyond the barrier of their excuses. You say you want to build wealth, but are you forcing yourself to save when your desires say, spend? Are you forcing yourself to invest when your fears say, it's too risky? Are you forcing yourself to study financial principles when your mind says, just watch Netflix? Wealth is not built by wishing. It is built by disciplined actions repeated until they become your lifestyle. You cannot pray your way into wealth without disciplining your spending and your earning strategies. Many people pray for open doors but refuse to discipline themselves to walk through those doors with wisdom, diligence, and excellence. Opportunities without discipline become burdens. That is why you must force yourself into disciplined actions daily. Think of a student preparing for medical school exams. While their friends are partying and relaxing, they are reading late into the night. They are forcing their mind to stay awake. They are forcing their focus to ignore distractions. They are forcing their emotions to submit to their vision. It is not easy, but nothing great is ever easy. Discipline is doing what is hard now so life becomes easier later. Indiscipline is doing what is easy now and suffering the consequences later. Life will always make you pay a price. You either pay the price of discipline or you pay the price of regret. The choice is yours. You say you want to become a confident speaker, but are you forcing yourself to speak up in small gatherings first? Are you forcing yourself to record videos even when you hate how your voice sounds? Are you forcing yourself to study words, master your tone, and practice articulation? Confidence is not a gift you are born with. It is a muscle that grows every time you force yourself into disciplined actions despite fear. Fear will never fully leave, but discipline makes fear irrelevant. Fear will scream, "Don't do it," and discipline will whisper, "Do it anyway." That whisper of discipline builds the person your destiny is waiting for. You say you want inner peace, but are you forcing yourself to wake up early to meditate and reflect before the noise of the world starts? Are you forcing yourself to journal your thoughts instead of drowning them in entertainment? Are you forcing yourself to forgive those who hurt you instead of replaying the pain every day? Peace is a result of disciplined choices in your inner life. It is not magic. It is not luck. It is not something that just falls upon you one morning. You create peace through disciplined thoughts, disciplined emotions, disciplined environments, and disciplined responses to life's chaos. You say you want to become a leader, but are you forcing yourself to wake up before everyone else to strategize? Are you forcing yourself to read books that grow your mind instead of gossip posts that shrink it? Are you forcing yourself to serve others when your pride says, "I deserve to be served"? Leadership is not about titles. It is about disciplined actions that produce impact without recognition. People follow discipline before they follow personality. A disciplined leader will outlast a charismatic but lazy leader any day. Force yourself into disciplined actions. Wake up when your body says sleep. Read when your mind says scroll. Work when your feelings say rest. Serve when your ego says sit. Create when your fears say hide. Speak when your insecurities say stay silent. Every time you force yourself into disciplined action, you kill the old version of yourself and give birth to a new version that is stronger, wiser, and ready to handle the dreams you have been carrying in your heart. Your future self is calling you to rise. Your future self is calling you to rise. But the question is, are you listening? Every morning when you wake up with that heaviness in your chest, that silent knowing that you are not yet where you are supposed to be, that is your future self calling you. It is calling you out of your comfort. It is calling you out of your laziness. It is calling you out of your fear. But most people press the snooze button on that call. They say, not today, maybe tomorrow. And with every snooze, they silence the voice of destiny within them. Imagine standing on the shore of an ocean, and far across the waters is an island with everything you have ever prayed for: peace, purpose, abundance, confidence, mastery, impact, and legacy. Your future self is standing on that island calling your name every single day saying, "Swim, swim across, you can make it." But the water looks cold, the waves look rough, the distance looks too far. So you sit on the sand, building castles that will be washed away by the tides of time, and you tell yourself, "At least I am comfortable here." But deep down, you know you are not comfortable. You are simply familiar with your suffering. The truth is, you are never at peace when you are living below your potential. Your future self is calling you to rise above your excuses. Excuses feel comforting because they give you a reason to stay small without feeling guilty. I don't have time. I don't have money. No one supports me. I'm not like them. Excuses are lies that your current self uses to silence the call of your future self. Every time you speak an excuse, your future self grows silent and your present reality becomes your prison. Think about an eagle chick in a nest. Its mother knows the chick is born to fly, but the chick feels safe in the nest. It is warm, it is fed, it is protected. But there comes a day when the mother begins to stir the nest, removing the soft feathers and breaking apart the sticks, so the nest becomes uncomfortable. Why? Because unless the nest becomes uncomfortable, the eagle chick will never spread its wings. In the same way, life will keep making your comfort zone uncomfortable until you rise and spread your wings into your true potential. Your future self is calling you to rise above your fears. Fear will always scream louder than faith in your early stages of growth. Fear will tell you that you will fail, you will be rejected, you will be embarrassed, you will lose everything. But your future self is whispering, even if you fail, you will grow. Even if they reject you, you will learn. Even if you lose everything, you will build it back stronger. Imagine a child learning to ride a bicycle. Their legs are shaking, their balance is unstable, and fear is screaming, "Don't let go of the ground." But with every push, every fall, every bruise, they rise again, and soon what once felt impossible becomes effortless. Your future self is that version of you riding freely with the wind in your hair, saying, keep pedaling, keep falling, keep getting up. You are closer than you think. Your future self is calling you to rise above the opinions of people. Some people will never see your future because they are blinded by your present. They see your struggles, your flaws, your weaknesses, and they think that is all you will ever be. But your future self knows that these struggles are training, these flaws are refining, these weaknesses are opportunities to build unshakable strength. Think about an uncut diamond covered in dirt and rough edges. To the untrained eye, it looks worthless, just another stone on the ground. But the jeweler sees its future brilliance. The cutting, the shaping, the polishing process is painful. But after it all, what emerges is a priceless diamond that reflects light in powerful ways. Your future self is that diamond, calling you to endure the cutting and shaping seasons so you can reflect greatness into this world. Your future self is calling you to rise into discipline. Every habit you are forming today is building the reality your future self will wake up to. If you keep choosing laziness, distractions, negativity, and self-doubt, your future self will wake up trapped in regret. But if you choose discipline, focus, positivity, and courage today, your future self will rise in freedom and power. Imagine planting a mango tree. You water it, you protect it from pests, you fertilize the soil, and you wait. For months, it looks like nothing is happening. People walk past your small plant and laugh, saying, "Where is your fruit?" But one day, after consistent care and protection, that tree begins to bear fruit that feeds you and everyone connected to you. Your daily disciplines are like that. They look invisible to the untrained eye, but they are silently building a future full of harvest. Your future self is calling you to rise into purpose. You were not born just to work, pay bills, and die. You were born to solve a problem on this earth. You were born to build something that outlives you. You were born to lift people out of darkness through your gifts, words, talents, and impact. But your purpose will remain hidden if you keep living life on autopilot, moving from day to day with no vision. Imagine a soldier in battle forgetting why they are fighting. They will give up at the first sign of struggle. But a soldier with a vision of victory, a soldier who remembers their nation, their family, and the future generations they are protecting, that soldier becomes unstoppable. Your purpose is your reason to rise. Your future self has already worshipped them by speaking about them, thinking about them, and making decisions around them. Imagine a prisoner who has been locked up for years. One day, the guard comes and opens the gate and says, "You are free to go." But the prisoner remains sitting in his cell, refusing to leave because he has spent so long inside that he has fallen in love with his bondage. That is how many people live their lives. The gate is open. Freedom is calling, opportunity is waiting. But they have honored their limitations for so long that they no longer believe freedom is even possible for them. You keep saying, you reject the call of greatness within you. Every time you choose to remain small, you rob the world of the impact that your life was designed to create. Think about a child learning how to walk. They fall down over and over again. Imagine if after the fifth fall they said to themselves, "Walking is not for me. Maybe I am just meant to crawl for the rest of my life." You would look at that child and say, "No, keep trying, keep rising, keep taking steps." Falling is part of the process. But as adults, we do the exact opposite. We try something new. We fail once or twice, and immediately we label ourselves as unworthy, incapable, and foolish. That is because we have been taught to honor our limitations instead of our possibilities. We have been taught to focus on what went wrong instead of how it grew us. We have been trained to surrender to fear instead of using fear as a stepping stone to courage. When you honor your limitations, you live life in reverse. Instead of leading your life with vision, you lead it with memory. Your past experiences become the CEO of your future decisions. Imagine a driver who only looks in the rear view mirror while driving forward. He will crash within seconds. That is what you are doing when you keep focusing on your failures, your traumas, and your mistakes. Your limitations are in your past. Your possibilities are in your future. But you cannot step into your future if your eyes are chained to yesterday. You honor your limitations every time you say, "This is just how I am." No, it is how you have chosen to remain. You honor your limitations every time you say, "People like me can't do that." Who told you that? Was it your parents, your teachers, your friends, or your past failures? Whoever told you that lied to you, but you are the one keeping their lie alive by repeating it daily. You honor your limitations when you keep saying, it's too late for me. Says who? There are people who started at 50 and built empires. There are people who started at 60 and created global movements. There are people who started at 70 and inspired nations. Time is not your enemy, your mindset is. You honor your limitations every time you choose to sit back in fear when you know you were born to stand out in faith. Think about an elephant tied to a small wooden peg in the circus. When it was a baby, that peg was too strong for it to break free from, so it learned to believe that it could never break free. Now, as a full-grown elephant weighing tons, it still stands tied to that tiny peg because mentally it is still honoring the limitation it accepted as a baby. You are powerful beyond measure, but your mind is still chained to old pegs of rejection, fear, failure, and pain. You have outgrown your limitations, but because you still honor them, they continue to control you. If only you realize that one decision of courage, one action of faith, one moment of breaking through your fear could shatter those limitations forever. From today, stop honoring your limitations and start honoring your possibilities. Stop worshiping your weaknesses and start investing in your strengths. Stop glorifying what went wrong and start magnifying what can go right. Stop replaying what broke you and start redesigning what can build you. Life will always reflect the reality you honor most. If you keep honoring your limitations, your life will be limited. But if you start honoring your potential, your life will become limitless. Imagine waking up each day and instead of saying, I can't, you ask yourself, how can I? Imagine replacing it's impossible with who says it's impossible. Imagine replacing I don't know how with I will find out how. This is how you break the chains that have kept you small. This is how you shift from fear to power, from excuses to execution, from bondage to freedom conclusion. You were never created to live an average, limited, hidden life. There is a force inside you that is greater than any fear that has ever held you back. The pain you went through was not to destroy you, it was to sculpt you into the person who can handle the greatness that is coming. Every failure, every betrayal, every heartbreak was preparing you to stand strong in places others would collapse. The world will not remember you for what you avoided in fear. It will remember you for what you conquered in courage. Don't let your life end with your potential still locked inside you. Don't let your dreams die just because you were too afraid to fail. Remember this today, your vision is proof that your future is real. If it was not real, you would have never seen it in your mind. You are not crazy for dreaming big. You are only crazy if you keep living small while carrying big dreams in your spirit. You have to become the kind of person who looks fear in the face and says, you will not win today. Become the person who wakes up every morning and declares, I will no longer dim my light to make others comfortable with their darkness. I will no longer shrink myself to fit into places I have outgrown. You need to reach a point where you tell your doubts, I hear you, but I am doing it anyway. Tell your fears, thank you for the warning, but I will still move forward. Tell your past failures, you trained me, but you do not define me. Every great person you admire today had to do the same thing. They had to stand up to their own mind before they could stand up to the world. Your mind will keep telling you all the reasons why you can't, but your spirit already knows you can. Your mind is programmed by your experiences. Your spirit is programmed by your purpose. That is why you feel so torn sometimes. Your mind wants safety, but your spirit wants growth. Your mind wants comfort, but your spirit wants greatness. Your mind wants to stay hidden, but your spirit wants to be seen, to be heard, to make impact. You must make a choice every single day. Will you obey your mind or will you obey your spirit? Because the moment you choose to obey your spirit, you become unstoppable. People will doubt you. They will say, who do you think you are to do that? Let them say it. You are not here to prove them right. You are here to prove yourself right. You are not here to fit into their opinions. You are here to manifest your assignment. Remember, lions do not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. Eagles do not consult with pigeons before flying. Stars do not ask permission before shining. You are here to rise, to conquer, to break generational patterns, to build legacies, to open doors for others. You are here to outgrow who you were yesterday and become who you were born to be today. Don't let another year go by replaying the same excuses. Don't let another day pass by honoring your limitations. Your destiny is bigger than your comfort zone. Your purpose is bigger than your excuses. Your future is bigger than your fears. The clock is ticking and time waits for no one. If you do not fight for your dreams, no one will fight for them on your behalf. If you do not believe in your potential, no one else will carry that belief for you. The graveyard is full of dreams that were never born, songs that were never sung, books that were never written, businesses that were never launched, speeches that were never delivered, and lives that were never lived to their fullness. Don't let your name be added to that list. It is time to outgrow the old version of you, the version that played it safe, the version that feared rejection, the version that made excuses, the version that cared too much about what people thought, the version that waited for validation, the version that stayed silent when it was called to speak, the version that settled for less while dreaming of more. You have to kill that version so the greater you can rise. You have to bury the fear driven you so the faith driven you can stand. Because the world is waiting for you to wake up to yourself. You were not born to just exist. You were born to leave footprints of greatness wherever you go. It is your time now. As Les Brown said, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. As Steve Jobs said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. And as I say to you today, force yourself to outgrow the old version of you, because the new you is too powerful to remain hidden any longer.